Good morning, I'm Ernie Freeman. It is Wednesday, August 28th.
So glad you're with us today. I'm Valerie Calhoun. It is 9:31. That's atomic time, and I think we're getting the feed direct from Oak Ridge now, right? Did we get the Tennessee feed, or are we still out west, Colorado?
Well, the Tennessee feed would be a fresher feed, but it's still out of Colorado. That's the official point. But that's okay. That's all right.
I love when we counted it down to the second.
Yeah, you want to?
Back.
That was impressive.
You know, it's only 40 seconds away.
No. Let's keep going then.
Let's go outside and check out what's happening downtown Memphis. Sky Fox looking good this AM, folks. We got some blue skies out there. We got some numbers trying to get cranked up. Here's your tri-state zoom right now. No problems out there. No cloud cover. No rain. Temperatures on the climb. 82 in downtown Memphis, and that's your heat index reading. It's going to get hotter than that, folks. Today is one of those days where we're cranking it up. 93 this afternoon to 94. Feels more like 97. So we're close to that 100-degree point, and it's going to get hotter over the next 3 or 4 days. More on that coming up in just a bit. Right now, let's send you back to the desk.
All right, first on Fox, the Obama administration about to release its rationale for war, just as the crisis in Syria reaches a critical stage. Fox's Doug Luzader has the story this morning from Washington.
The White House is trying to make both a legal and a moral case for action in Syria, as an attack could be just days away. With U.S. warships now at the ready off the coast of Syria, President Obama has been strangely silent on the subject in recent days as he mulls the decision, leaving it to Vice President Joe Biden to make the case for war.
There is no doubt who is responsible for this heinous use of chemical weapons in Syria. The Syrian regime.
And the White House is expected to release newly declassified intelligence to make the administration's case that the Syrian regime is responsible for a chemical weapons attack that is reported to have killed hundreds last week. But at the same time, the White House is careful to say that Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad will not be a target of any U.S. military action.
The options that we are considering are not about regime change. They are about responding to a clear violation of an international standard that prohibits the use of chemical weapons.
But critics wonder this: if Assad is not a target, what exactly is the goal in Syria? And will limited action, just a quick wave of missile strikes, simply make a bad situation even worse?
I know for a fact from my own contacts inside Syria with the opposition forces, I mean, they have high expectations because this is the first time anybody's done anything to help them. And if all we do is something symbolic, they'll be devastated by it.
And as far as the timing is concerned, here's what we know. NATO has a meeting today. The British Parliament has an emergency session on Syria tomorrow. Any attack would likely come after that. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Today, family and friends are saying their final goodbyes to Christopher Lane. Now, he's the Australian student who was gunned down in a thrill kill in Oklahoma. 22 years old, here in America on a baseball scholarship. Shot in the back in a drive-by shooting while he was out jogging last Friday. 3 teens charged with murder. One of them said that they were bored, so they decided to shoot and kill a young man. Lane was studying at East Central University. Again, he was here on a baseball scholarship.
The second suspect in the robbery and murder of a World War II veteran in California is going to have his day in court. 16-year-old Keenan Adams Kennard appearing in a court via video Tuesday. In a new twist, he's telling police that he was buying crack cocaine from the 88-year-old vet and the deal got violent. Police say there is no evidence of that. They say that attack was just random. Both Adams Kennard and the other teen going to be tried as adults, each currently being held on $2 million bail.
And more violence against our veterans. In Indiana, a vet says he was trying to be friendly. And what he got for that? Attacked, duct taped to a chair, and robbed by a couple of punks. 79-year-old Billy Blankenship, understandably, didn't want to show his face on TV, not after what happened. Said he was out in the yard finishing up some yard work Sunday evening when a couple of lowlifes approached him saying, "Hey, we'll work for money." He said, "I don't have any work, but I can offer you a cold drink." And that's when they went inside his home, took advantage of the man, and attacked.
Not a hammerlock, some kind of a wrestling hold been around the neck. And they wrapped me all up in this duct tape, and to where, I mean, he had like all the way up, like up to here.
The veteran says he was finally, after 4 hours of maneuvering, able to get to a pair of scissors nearby and cut the tape off. He just kind of demonstrated that. Family hopes that with all of the tape, the duct tape, police will be able to grab some fingerprints off of it. Let's hope they can find these punks.
All right. It is 9:36 now, and another gun found at a Shelby County school. This is the second one in less than a week. And now the superintendent of schools is talking about better communication. Fox 13 Scott Mattis joining us live with more on that. Good morning, Scott.
Hey, good morning, Ernie. Yeah, better communication, that's the key to pretty much everything in the world, right? And yeah, that's what the superintendent of Shelby County Schools is now talking about and talked about last night at the board meeting with all of its 23 members strong. Specifically, communication between the actual school district itself, school security, and then branching out to the communication between the Shelby County Sheriff's Office and themselves, and also the Memphis Police Department. Seems so simple, but these talks are ongoing. They will continue. And if you didn't hear by now, yesterday afternoon, somehow, some way, it was discovered that a 13-year-old student here at Cypress Middle School got a gun inside of the school itself. One of that student's friends or maybe acquaintances found out about this and told the appropriate authorities. The gun wasn't loaded, though, so that is a good thing. But what I can tell you, this comes just a few days after that 5-year-old kindergartner brought a loaded gun to school, and the gun actually went off in that case. So a dramatic story to tell, a dramatic story that has now been told twice, Valerie and Ernie. And last night, as it will continue, the main talk was about communication, and that will continue on. I can tell you also that I talked with the Public Information Office within the Shelby County School District. They tell me that this incident that happened directly behind me is still under investigation, because there's one main question that all of us still want an answer to. If all of these children have to go through a metal detector, how in the world could this 13-year-old get that gun into the school? That's something that is currently being investigated. Stay with Fox 13 News and myfoxmemphis.com for the very latest in this still developing story. Live at Cypress, Scott Mattis, Good Morning Memphis.
All right. Well, you know, today's the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington. And here in the Mid-South, a lot of folks will be going to events, including one at the Civil Rights Museum. And that's where we find Brooke Thomas. You got there early. Will you save us a spot, Brooke?
You're right. Yeah, I've been out here since about 7 this morning, about a little bit earlier than that, actually. What a place to be, right, on this 50th anniversary. Let's bring in Barbara Andrews with the Civil Rights Museum to talk a little bit about, you know, what's going on today. Big concert. There's also an event at 1 o'clock at City Hall. It's a free event. They want you out there. And after that, you guys are holding a pretty big event. Let's talk about the importance. I know you're pretty excited. You guys have had a busy morning so far.
We are. We've had a busy morning, and it's going to be so exciting this evening. We're commemorating the 50th anniversary in song. Outdoor concert, free to the general public, called Singing the Dream. And it is just going to be fabulous. Gospel music, jazz, folk music, contemporary music, sing along, dance along. But music was such a part of African American history and the struggle, and it was such a part of the movement that we just wanted to bring the message back in music. Of course, we'll have some great speakers here. It's free for the entire family. Come out, bring a lawn chair. We'll have food trucks out here, activities for children, information stations from 4 to 8 p.m. out here in the courtyard at the National Civil Rights Museum.
It's going to be so great. Now, who are we going to have out here speaking? It's going to be a pretty big event, right?
It's going to be a pretty big event. And so we've got Minister Alana London, who's going to be speaking. We've got Professor Luther Ivory speaking. We've got David Parks, who's with the Trump Type Band. We've got Courtney Richardson, who is a gospel singer. singer and performer, and of course he's going to have some message for us. And we've got Daryl Harrington and his dad, J.B. Harrington. Daryl is going to recite excerpts from the Dream speech, and his dad was a marshal at the 1963 march, and so he's going to be here to recount what that experience was like for him.
Barbara, thank you so much for joining us this
Thank
morning.
you.
This is going to be a great event. A lot of people are
It
going to be
is.
out here. So
We'll
get
see
here
you later.
by 2 o'clock if you can, right? You can
2
start
o'clock.
getting seated at 2 o'clock. It starts at 4. Hey, reporting live from the National Civil Rights Museum on Dream Day, I'm Brooke Thomas. Back to you.
All right, Brooke. 9:41 now. Memphis Mayor A.C. Wharton got some prime time with President Obama. The mayor was at the White House to talk about youth violence. And Fox 13's Trey Paul is in our studio with more on what they were talking about. So what they have to say, Trey?
Well, Mayor A.C. Wharton actually focused on gun violence in general. He told us that's his top priority this year, you may remember. Here he is inside the White House. He was one of 18 big city mayors invited to this meeting. You know, this allowed them to share how they're fighting gun violence with the president and learn what works and what doesn't. Memphis Police Director Tony Armstrong was also there. You know, back in January, Mayor Wharton launched the Memphis Gun Down program. Now, here's what the president liked. He liked our Operation Safeways initiative. It's the program that cracks down on violence in homes where several families live. Here's what Mayor Wharton had to say right after the meeting.
You really felt that what you were saying was not just some rehearsed process that you're going through that someone will take notes and you'll never hear again. As a matter of fact, there was an hour-long meeting with the president personally. He presided over that meeting.
It says he'll continue to push for a tougher gun purchase background check system and more enforcement against gun trafficking. The president also stressed the importance of pre-K education in the fight against gun violence. Live in the studio this morning, Trey Paul. Good morning, Memphis.
Okay. Thanks, Trey. Bottoms up. A new beer maker, a new brewery. Do you find that word hard to say?
A what?
Brewery. New brewery is opening in the Mid-South. We'll show you where. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah. Easy.
Brewery.
Moderation there, fella. And pencils, paper, and brain power. We're going to talk to a doctor about what foods your kids should be eating at school.
Is that it?
I hope that's not it. Is that it? That's it. That's not very appetizing, but maybe it'll help. This is Good Morning Memphis on Fox 13.
Hey, folks, your Thursday morning starting off pretty comfortable out there. Hadn't gotten uncomfortable yet. Take a look at Tribune. Let's scan around the area. The clouds are gone that we saw early on, so we got pure sunshine now. Heat index has made it up to about 83 in Millington. Same thing, Memphis down through Horn Lake and Olive Branch, even back towards Arlington and over across Marion in the West Memphis. Feels like it's in the low 80s out there. Well, later today, 91 around noon, feels like 94. And at 93 towards the afternoon, when everybody's starting to make their journey home, feels like 97. We'll get close to that 100 degree mark as far as the heat index. Tomorrow may be a better chance at that. Looks like it grows as we get into the weekend. We'll show you the 7-day next time around. For now, it's time to do the two-screen experience with the Weather Babies. First on your screen, a lovely young lady named London, blessed 12-year-old who has been through a whole lot and is a survivor. Thank you, London, for being in the happiest and safest place in all of Memphis, Tennessee, the Weather Baby Lounge. The other baby, James, who loves to be outdoors, and he loves to work with in the garden with plants. So he loves to be outdoors and doing the right thing, working with the plants. That's our two-screen experience. That continues now with Valerie Calhoun and her special guest inside of our Fox 13 studios.
2 pictures, it's 2 boxes, but I don't think it's 2 screens. We're still working on Ed with that. Okay, reading, writing, and brain power. It's a back-to-school essential, right? So how do you make sure your child's getting the right foods at school to keep them sharp in the classroom? You can probably start at home. And health educator Dr. Christopher Moore joins us with some examples. You didn't bring food.
I didn't today.
But you brought supplements. And
right.
usually when we think of children, we don't think of supplements.
Right.
But it's not a bad idea.
Not these in particular. So these
Yeah.
are what are called omega-3s, and we were talking off air. Fish
Right.
oil is another name for it. Great for brain health, all the way from infants all the way up to the elderly.
You know, we talked about eating breakfast, and he's about to tell us why eating breakfast is so good. But
Right.
some of the eggs you can get have the omega-3s.
Right, some do. And that's a great step in the right direction. It's not the same as fish oil necessarily, so this is in addition to that. But
Right.
definitely eggs are a great way to start the day, and breakfast is so important. The kids need to make sure they're getting it every day.
That's the main message, the first message you wanted to get across,
Absolutely.
right? What about the sugary cereals? Is that better than nothing?
throw some fruit on there, maybe makes it a little better, but I would love eggs instead, or some kind of whole grain base. There's so many great options now.
Right.
Oatmeal's another good one. Greek yogurt is a good one, has some protein in it to help fill you up and really fuel that body and mind.
Yeah, that Greek yogurt is a good way to do that because most
Absolutely.
kids like yogurt. So how do you use these? I mean, it's
Right.
tough getting kids to take pills.
Right. And these are, they have a lot of great options here. We were mentioned, I have a 4-year-old and an almost
Right.
2-year-old. They take this every single day. So there are capsules. These are chewable, which makes it easy, and they
Now,
taste
that's
like
good.
strawberry.
Right,
So
right.
that's quick and easy. And then there's also vegetarians. There's also a vegetarian option. This is liquid, and it doesn't
Okay.
really have any flavors. You can add it to food. This is a baby one for infants. You could actually add it to their bottle. We
Okay.
did that with our daughter, ever since they were born, essentially.
What does this do for them, for their body and their mind?
Yeah, well, it's great. It is basically food for their brain, essentially. So the primary fat in our brain, all of our brains are made up a lot of fat. The primary fat is what's called DHA, which is one of the omega-3s.
Okay.
You get that from salmon, from tuna. As we were talking, a lot of kids aren't really big fans of fish. So even if they are eating fish, though, not fried, if they are eating fish, this is still a great addition because it does help fuel the brain. There's lots of great research showing when kids take omega-3s, they do higher on their standardized tests, do better
Wow.
kind of IQs. So a lot of great research. It's a must, in my opinion.
That sounds like a great argument
Right.
for these things. Now,
Right.
to the lunchbox, are there particular foods you should
Yeah.
try to get them to eat at lunchtime that you can pack?
Right. Again, try to get some protein in there. So
Yeah.
the Greek yogurt's good. Turkey.
Peanut butter?
Peanut
If
butter.
if they're allowed
Absolutely.
peanuts in school.
Right. Sunflower butter's an option. Sunflower seed
Is
butter
it?
if peanuts don't work because it's not a true nut.
Okay.
So that works, and our kids do that because they're not allowed the nuts like you
Right.
mentioned. But those are great. Peanut butter and banana. Get some fruit in there. That's a tough one for most
Sure
kids.
is, sure.
The Greek yogurt, as I mentioned. Rotisserie chicken is a great one. You could slice that the night before. Every store has it. It's quick and easy, so it doesn't take you a lot of time.
True.
Getting some great quality food in there. But that's important because kids aren't fueling their bodies right.
All right. Where can you buy these supplements?
Yeah, in most grocery stores, like the Whole Foods type stores,
Okay.
GNC, of course online, NordicNaturals.com, anything like that, you can get those. But this is the brand leader, and you want to get a clean, quality product, and this is the way to go.
Okay. Dr. Moore, thank you so
I
much for
appreciate it.
joining
Thanks,
us.
Valerie.
Good to see you this
You
morning.
too.
So, help your babies get smarter? Sounds good, doesn't it? We'll be right back.
And we have breaking news out of northwest Arkansas this morning. That's where a little girl's body has been found. 11-year-old Jessica Williams from Gosnell reported missing last night, and this morning her body found in a rural area near Blytheville, Arkansas. According to the Courier News in Mississippi County, she was reported missing by her father last night, saying that he last saw her playing with the family dog. Her bicycle found in a ditch down the road from their home. Her body found farther down that road. Investigators say her body was found in an area that was nowhere close to her home. It would not have been easy to walk or ride her bike there. Her death currently under investigation. Fox 13 will have more on this breaking story on Fox 13 News midday.
All right, terrible news there. Hey, folks, let's check out what's happening right now on Sky Fox downtown. Clear skies over the city. We've got some warmth out there, some sunshine, no rain problems, no cloud issues. Here's TrueView, your tri-state scan right now, looking pretty impressive. We've got no issues there. And again, those numbers are picking up. 83 in downtown Memphis to Germantown to Millington. Here's a quick glance at what you can expect from your Wednesday. 93 this afternoon to 94. With a heat index just under 100. It's going to be hot and a little bit of humidity today. That increases even more tomorrow. And of course, you'll get all the latest on that coming up in just about 1 hour right here on Fox 13 News Midday. Now I'll send you back to the desk.
All right, Joey. Well, some good news. Happy birthday to the Peabody. The hotel's celebrating 144 years this week. As part of the ceremony, Pat Holleran inducted into the hotel's Duck Walk Hall of Fame. Holleran serves as the president and CEO of the Memphis Development Foundation, which operates the Orpheum. So congratulations to Pat and a big happy birthday to the Peabody, 144.
3 cheers for this news. You may want to toast to this. Memphis has a new micro brewing company. It's called Wiseacre Brewing Company. Has a grand opening in just about 3 minutes from now. The company is located right in the heart of Memphis's Broad Avenue Arts District, the exact address 2783 Broad. It will have a regular lineup of beers produced year-round inside. They'll also have a selection of seasonal and limited edition brews. We welcome them to the area.
All right, entertainment news, and Alec Baldwin and the paparazzi going at it again. The actor getting into it with the paparazzi who tried to follow his wife into a tea shop. There's Alec. Baldwin would grab the photographer's arm and twist it behind his back. Police had to break up the scuffle. Both men say they're not going to press charges. What would the charge be against the camera guy?
I don't know.
Alec and the wife welcomed their baby girl into the world last week. Alec needs to get it under control. Can't go around.
He does have anger issues, you know that.
Can't go around twisting people's arms.
Is it the end for one of Hollywood's longest-lasting couples? Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones haven't been out together since April, and People Magazine says the two are taking a break. Neither star has filed for divorce, but the two are taking time apart to focus on themselves. Douglas has been spending time on a yacht in Sardinia, while Zeta-Jones is home in New York with the kids. The pair have had their fair share of issues, with Douglas's cancer and Zeta-Jones' diagnosis of bipolar issues. We wish them the best. Of course, here in the Mid-South, we have, a lot of news going on, and we'll have the latest for you in an hour on midday.
Yeah, more on the situation in Syria and the 50th anniversary commemoration of the March on Washington. Wendy is up next, midday in an hour.
Bye.